Hi everybody, and we're going to be reversing into a parking space, correcting the faults when it doesn't go according to plan. And you know who you are. I'm going to there to help you. I'm going to show you some examples of things going wrong and what you can do to correct it. So I'm out of the bay at the moment, and we're going to do an assumption, which is you know how to reverse into a space. You've been taught off your instructor. If you don't know how to do that yet, I'm going to put a link at the top and in the description below for you, so it'll help you. So we're now to reverse into a space, but we're not very good at correcting the faults. So let's have a look round, make sure it's safe, and we're going to reverse into a space. So I'm bringing it round now, and as long as you go slow and you're looking in your mirrors, looking over your shoulders, I can see in the left mirror there, it's looking decent, so it's going in. And it's fairly straightforward. It's going in. Yeah, it's a little bit to one side, but it's going in. I'm going to let it overturn to bring it back slightly and correct myself at the same time. And I'm stopping. Now, like I say, for me, it's fairly easy. Now, some of the biggest faults learners do on the driving test is the pressure of the driving test gets to them. And all that good work you've been doing with your instructor or your family member goes a bit wobbly. So I'm going to do it again now, but I'm going to do it deliberately slightly wrong, so it goes a bit wobbly, and I'm going to explain to you how you can correct things. So we're looking around again. I'm looking for the space I want to go into. This time I'm going to turn a bit late, so it should go, in theory, a little bit wide to the right. Yeah, it's looking like it's going a bit wide. Definitely going wide. Now, if there was a car next to you, you'd have to stop at this point and go forward and correct it, which is allowed, but there's nothing next to us, so we're going to carry on and just, you can see on the outside camera where it's going at this point. It's going over the line, so I'm about 2 to 3 foot wide at this point. So as I straighten myself up, I'm going back in the bay, but I'm too wide. I'm on the right hand side of the bay. Sensors have come on, so I'm just going to pop it in first gear. So to correct it, we need to get to the left hand side of the bay. So if you look in your left mirror, and in your car that is, and you should have that much space, I reckon. So we're looking round, and we're going to bring the steering wheel across to the left to get ourselves across. And we're looking across at the same time, both mirrors as well as looking round. And then I'm turning to the right to get the car straight. And then I'm straightening back up, looking in both mirrors just to see if you can see both lines of the bay, and I can. So I'm going to pop back in reverse, and it's slightly to the right, but it's in. And this way you got to remember, as long as you're within the lines, then you're fine. And if I want the back of the car to go to my left at this point, because I can see in the outside camera there, it's slightly to the right hand side still, but it's in the bay, I could leave it as it is and go back straight, and it's going to be fine. But if I want to get really perfectionist, I'm going to turn the wheel to the left a little bit. So as I go backwards, the car's going to the left. It's brought across to the left there. And I'm going to turn to the right to get it straight. So one full turn back and straighten my wheels back up, looking round, and I'm going to reverse into that space at this point. And I'm slowing myself down to stop. If you're struggling to understand where the end of the bay is, if you've got a reversing camera, it helps, but if you haven't, you should be checking over your right shoulder for the curb and working out where the back of the bay is compared to the front of the bay. And once you've done it a few times, you get used to it. And what I suggest, what you want to do is when you reverse back and you think you're in, secure the car, get out of the car, and just see how much space you got at the back, and just kind of mentally make a note of whereabouts it is. It could be something lined up with the side of your window. That works. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get back out of the car. What we're going to do now is get back out of the bay. I'll just let this person get out of the way, because they're driving around, learning how to drive with no L plates on here. I'm just going to bring the car out. And this time, what we're going to do is, another common one is we're going to turn a little bit too soon. So we're going to be on the left-hand side this time. So we're going to pop it in reverse again, have a look round, choosing the bay. And it's always from the white line, 3 bays down, 2 empty bays, and the third bay is yours, or 3 white lines, if that helps. Looking round, I'm going to turn a little bit early this time. So I'm looking round, bringing it round, and I should be on the left-hand side of the bay this time. Because like I say, things don't always go according to plan. And you're allowed to kind of correct things. So as I'm looking around the mirrors now, you should be able to see on the outside camera that I've got a lot of space on my right-hand side. And I'm looking at my left-hand side and I'm right on the line. You know, in fact, I can't see the line, so I reckon I'm just outside the bay. So it's the opposites this time. So I want to get across to the right-hand side. So I'm looking round, make sure no one's going round. I'm going to pull forward to the right-hand side with the steering wheel. So we'll do it 1 full turn. As you move forward about 2 foot, you start to straighten yourself back up. And as you straighten yourself back up, you drive forward to get the car parallel, and I'm straightening my wheels back up. And I'm looking in the mirrors. And if it's fine, great. Like I say, I can see in both my mirrors now, and I've got about that much space on the left and that much space on the right, I reckon. Maybe slightly less. So if I want to get across to that side, I turn to that side. But then once I've got enough, then I bring it back. So I want to get across to the right to be a bit more in central, but if you don't, you can leave it as it is. So I'll look around again. I'm going to do half a turn to the right, and the back's coming across to the right at this point. And I'm going to start turning back to the left, because I don't want to go too far across. As I'm looking round, it's getting straight. So as it gets straight, straighten that wheel back up straight away. Looking around again, and I'm going back into the bay, taking my time and stopping when I'm in, using that little marker that if you've marked at the side there. So if I'm looking over my shoulder, it's the back window, or I can look here at the front window here. You can mark something on the side here that will help you. But like I say, every car is slightly different. Now, that's if the bays are empty. Now, if you do this sort of problem, and I'll just go back out again, because I'm giving you some examples here of how you can correct the faults. Because people say to me, well, what happens if there's a car next to me? What am I going to do then? Well, you can't reverse in the bay if it's wrong, can you? Otherwise, you'll hit the car. So we're going to sort of pop it in reverse, have a look round again, and we're going to reverse back to go in the bay, but we're going to be slightly to the right. So if the car was there, you'd be reversing into the car, wouldn't you? So I'm looking round, turning, bringing it round. And as I'm going round there, I'm going to hit the car on the right. Because if you see in the outside camera, the angle's not coming round enough. I'm going across to the right rather than going into the bay. So even if I put the steering wheel on full lock, even though I'm getting on the left-hand side, my back of my car is going to hit the car next to me. It's going to go over the white lines. You can see in the outside camera straight away. So at this point, you've got to say, I've got to stop, otherwise I'm going to hit the car on the right. So straight into first gear. I want to go across forward to the right. So as I move forward now, and you'll see it in the outside camera, as I'm turning to the right, it's bringing the car around straight. So it's bringing it away. I'm going to straighten myself back up now. So I've got a bit of an angle. So I'm going back in reverse, but I'm away from that car on the right. So I'm looking round, and as I'm reversing in, I'm going to do a little 1 full turn to the left at this point. 1 full turn. It's going to start to bring it around straight. You can see on the outside camera again. And it's 1 full turn to the right to get myself straight. Looking round. And I'm just slightly to the left-hand side of the bay, but I'm in, which is still a pass on the test. It's not perfect, but it's a pass on the test. So if you do a correction, it's classed as a fault. But if you don't do a correction, then and you leave it wrong, then you're going to fail your test, aren't you? Simple as that. And we'll do the opposite now, which is we're going to turn too soon on the left-hand side, and if there's a car there, we'll talk about how we can correct it again. So I'm just covering the most common ones that you're going to come across when you're reversing into a space using the parallel to the end of the bays. So I'm getting myself straight, pop it in reverse, looking round, and I'm going to turn a little bit early this time again. So it should put me on the left hand side of the bay. I can see it's going to be too soon. I can see in the mirror there, if I carry on going, I'm going to go into the car on the left hand side of me because I'm cutting across the line too much. So if there's a car there, then I'll hit it. So what you've got to say at that point there, well, I can't continue. So look round, bring it back out, get myself back to where I want to be, get myself straight. I will look round again and turn a bit later. So as I go past it, looking round, and I'm turning to get in, looking round, bringing it in, taking my time, checking my mirrors, checking my shoulders. You can check the camera if you've got a reversing camera, but you've got to be looking around at the same time. As it's coming round now, it's in, but it's just slightly to the right, but it's in the bay. So if I straighten myself up at this point, I'm in, and I'm going to be fine. But I'm about that far, you can see on the outside camera that I'm about that far from the bay, from the end of the bay, which is fine. I'm in that point, so it's still okay. If there's nothing next to me, I'll just straighten my wheels up and reverse back, and I'm in the bay. But if there's a car next to you, you might consider going out of the bay and doing what we've done a few minutes ago, which is as you go forward, go to the left a little bit and straighten myself up and reverse back. And that's fine too. Okay, so there's just a quick few ideas to help you understand how you can correct things with your steering, looking around where the bay is, looking at the mirrors, looking over your shoulders. Okay, I hope this has helped you. If it has, fantastic. If you're new to the channel, by the way, click on subscribe. Take care, safe driving.